Wow.
What body part is that? Oh my goodness, Jen. Scared me for a minute there.
Don't start the show with that question.
I do.
What kind of question is that?
What body part is that?
I'm just asking, all right? It's late night, you know? Could be a different vibe.
Yeah, how
We did the
far
hand
can
thing.
it
We both did
reach?
the hand thing.
I know. Well, like Ange says, greetings everyone. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yes, it's still a Saturday, but like Ange says, it's Saturday evening for a change. It's the Dear Future Grandkids nighttime show, nighttime sort of vibe. And judging from that statement and from Ange, it certainly is late night telly.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. Do we all look better at night though? What's the lighting like?
No,
Percy
no.
looks very calm and relaxed.
I
in
like
his
the shirt,
office.
Percy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very colourful.
Summary.
Well, it is the nighttime, but still nothing changes when it comes to the show in terms of I've always been Jen in Singapore. That's Percy in his lovely show in the Philippines, and that's Ange in Hong Kong, and we're live, and it's the nighttime show, and it's for a very, very good reason.
Yeah, we are now going to give you an introduction to Dear Future Grandkids like you've never had before. Let's bring on Mr. Jason Tom.
Dear future grandkids. Dear future grandkids. Yo, what's up? Prime time. That's how we do.
What?
Brilliant.
What?
That's amazing.
What an intro!
What an intro. Ladies
How's
and
it,
gentlemen,
everybody?
Jason
How's
Tom.
it?
Oh, Jason, that was brilliant. That was amazing. That's the best introduction we've ever had, I tell you.
Yeah,
We
high
gotta
energy.
do more. We gotta do more.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have Percy be the DJ and we'll have Jen the MC.
Be
I
careful
have
what
no
you wish
talent. Just don't.
Well, Jason, you gave us
Yes.
a unique introduction to Dear Future Grandkids. Now, I wonder, this is scary. I did not write this script. I wonder if we can work together and introduce you.
No, Percy, no. This is a terrible idea. Just don't do it. Okay?
Don't
Just
do this, Percy.
Yeah.
Stick to
Yes.
the traditional guest
Yeah.
intro, Percy.
Exactly.
Well, you see, I my mantra this year is to be foolish at 50. No, fearless at 50, not foolish.
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 That was
Foolish,
foolish.
Percy.
That was foolish.
Let's
Foolish.
do things that we're afraid of. Let's hit it, Jason.
All right, here we go.
No, he's doing it.
Yeah. Jason, stop. CFG. It's time. All right, Jason Tom, let's do this. Introducing you to Mr. Jason Tom. He's a
Let's go.
for the tender age of 4, and I've lost. It's right survive. Good times are a lifetime. In the meantime, it's high time, the right time to never let me rhyme again. Hold up. Back to the mic again.
All right, I guess we're doing this. Before I dispatch an outmatch with my rhyming attack, JT, can you hit us with a record scratch? From the beautiful state of Hawaii, he's got many degrees from fancy universities, rhymes and brains and rhymes. They call him the Michael Jordan of beatbox. That ain't no line. Once again, JT, can we get a drum fill? All right, Ange, over to you, Ange.
Don't pass me the mic. Don't let me rap because my British accent is going to sound pretty bad.
Yeah.
We're going to stop rapping now to rescue our viewers from the sewer of spewers. No 5-star reviewers, as our man JT said it, and we get it like jelly and peanut butter. That's how he speaks spreads. There is no other. All the way from Honolulu, Hawaii, the one and only beatboxing sensation, Mr. Jason Tom.
Hey! What an intro! What an intro!
Over.
Thank you all for joining us on this live stream.
Gosh. Jason, that was amazing. What a way for us to kill your background beatboxing with what was an attempt at rapping. Basically, it's just
I love
nails
it.
on a chalkboard, cats just attacking each
That's
other
what
in
we
those back
do.
alleys at midnight. That I'm so sorry that we have to let you hear that and everyone else at home as
Apology.
well.
Jason,
Yeah.
you still have a very
Oh, you guys are
wonderful
great. You guys
career.
sounded great.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
loved
No,
it, man.
no,
You and
Jason,
I are
you're
going
too
on tour,
kind.
Jason. Forget those two. We're going on tour.
No. There's a reason why I was television presenter, producers. Yeah,
yeah.
rapping presence, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't
Anything
quit your
above
day
your beatbox
job.
rhyme. Yeah. No, but Jason, you were amazing. I must say your part was
Thank you.
amazing. Ours just needs a lot of work. And safe to say, here in Dear Future Grandkids, you will never, ever hear us rapping ever again.
Just
From
getting
us,
started,
no.
Jen.
No,
Getting warmed
no,
up.
no. If
So now
I
your
could put
future
a
grandkids can watch this, you know, and
no, if I'm gonna put if I'm gonna put a number to the amount of times that we're ever gonna rap on the show, that's one, and that's it.
hey,
But more importantly, Jason, we have 3 numbers for you. Okay, you ready?
do this. All
Okay.
right.
We know that each one of these numbers represents something significant in your life. So
Mhm.
here comes the first number. Tell
Right.
us what happened when you were 4 years old.
Mm. So when I was 4 years old, I began beatboxing, and it was after watching the world premiere of the Michael Jackson Bad music video.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
And after watching that, it was called. It was on CBS. It was called Michael Jackson: The Magic Returns, and I remember just watching. Whoa, he's dancing, he's moonwalking, right? And then they played the video, the music video itself, in the New York subway and stuff. And I watched it, and I was like, how does this guy dance and sing so amazing, right? So at that time, I already knew who Michael Jackson was, but I never seen a video like that before, and that's what inspired me to replicate that song, beatboxing, at 4 years old by memory. So I was like, I would just do
Wow.
it, right?
Wow.
I'm bad, you know it. At 4 years old, yeah. So that was my
Yeah.
first one of my first
4
techniques.
years old.
Yeah.
God, I don't even think at 4 years old I knew how to wipe my bum yet. So it's
Yeah,
late
so
night. It's late night.
Yeah,
I can
so-
say that. It's late night. I can say that.
It's a prime time edition.
Before
That
Jen
was
shares more.
August. Just to give you guys the date, it was August 31st, 1987. Yeah, and believe it
Wow,
or not, I
remember
would
the
watch
date.
it again and again when I would visit my grandparents' place. I'm not joking, right? So this is Grandpa Jason Tom, right? But back when I was a grandson, I would go to my mother's side, maternal grandparents' place, and they would have it playing over and over again. I was like, I would see the regular bad version, and eventually I'll see the weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
did fat. So this is like in the 1980s, so it's fascinating time. So I think that's what got me hooked to the song, was just seeing that and just like, I gotta beatbox this, you know.
Yeah.
So that's at 4 years
Well,
old. Yeah.
Jason. Okay, now next number. All right. What
Yeah.
happened when you were 6 years old?
Wow, this is amazing. Okay, so 6 years old, as I continue to grow into being a Michael Jackson fan and stuff like that, like musically, I would say my paternal grandparents were very significant. My mother's side grandparents, they were very significant in molding and shaping my musical landscape, my interests. I give them credit for getting me into music and stuff like that, because they would play it in their house every time. So at 6 years old, my sister was my first audio engineer, because you would hear me beatboxing in the house, right? I'm doing it, and it's always the same song. I'm doing Bad every time, Michael Jackson Bad. So she said, Jason, come over here, right? So I went over to where she was, and my older sister. So I'm the youngest in my family, and she would take.
How
She
old,
would
how
actually
old is she?
record.
How old was
How old's your
she?
sister?
Well,
At the time,
she.
at the-
Well,
At the
I'm
time.
6, so I think this was January of 1989, so I was 6 years old, and I think she was 7 at this time. Yeah, 7 years old.
What?
Just so
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, did I do the math right? I have to probably figure out the math, but I think she was probably 7 years old. So she
Yeah.
she audio engineered my first recording. It was on music cassette. So that was the technology of the day, right? I didn't know how to work a music cassette because I'm the younger brother, right? So I don't know
yeah,
how to
because
work.
you're 6.
Yeah, I'm 6 years old. I don't know. I was just beatboxing around the house. So she just said, "Come over here. I want to record you." So she recorded me, right? You know how like back in the day you had to hit the record and play at the same time.
Play. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Boom, right? So I'm beatboxing bad at 6 years old. So even though I began beatboxing earlier, that was my first recording at 6. Yeah. So I was doing the same thing, right? Boom, boom, wait, boom. And then like I remember like in the beginning of the clip we're like yelling at each other or something like that. It was funny, and then I just get into it. I get into it, like just young kids, and so my sister is very pivotal in helping me to cultivate something that I just picked up naturally. I think was just I fell in love with music and stuff. So I think it probably runs in my mom's side and probably my dad's side too somehow, right? Connected. So yeah, so that's
Wow,
6 years
your
old.
first audio
Recording.
engineer was your sister, a 7-year-old
Yeah.
sister. And
Yeah, so
your
4
first
years old?
cassette recording
Right,
was at 6.
right. I wish I wanted to bring it on this show. I was looking in my vault to look for it. I couldn't find it, so it's I probably hid it from myself somewhere. So I gotta find it eventually. So yeah,
It's okay, Jason. It's just stuck in the 80s.
we'll go through a time warp. Time
Yeah,
time
put
machine.
it in a
So,
DeLorean, go at 88 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah.
It'll turn up.
It's a time capsule.
there you go. There you go. I do have a CD version of it because eventually I converted it on a digital, so I do have that, and I do eventually want to do stuff with it as well. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's so
Very
cool.
cool.
Well, we're going to fast forward quite a few years.
Okay.
When you
I'll see.
turned 21 years old, you had a life-changing event happen, didn't you, at the age of 21?
So 21. So I didn't just turn 21, but I was already 21 at this point. And at this point I was into more sports at that time. Even though music, I was still doing it behind the scenes, beatboxing and stuff, but I was pursuing judo, and I wanted to be an Olympian, Olympic champion. So that was the ultimate goal, right? So I was pursuing judo and stuff, and I had finished practice with judo. And at that time in Hawaii, in Honolulu, it was pouring rain, right? Pouring like cats and dogs. And after practice, actually prior to practice, I was running in the rain and everything, right? So that's how I used to train. I put on my tracksuit and everything, because that's how serious I was about my training. So after practice, I left the dojo, my judo dojo, and an SUV collided with me. A vehicle collided with me, and I was crossing a green light. So that driver did run did run a red light and stuff, and but I'm very grateful because that was near fatal, right? I could have lost my life right then and there at 21, and like I remember I used my judo instincts when it happened, and I fell to the ground. In judo they teach you how to tumble. They teach you how to break your fall without breaking your body and stuff.
Yeah.
I could probably be a stunt devil one day. But I got knocked out. Right? I got knocked out. But prior to falling unconscious, I was able to break my fall with the judo. And after that incident, I was taken to the hospital. But I do remember that driver didn't hit and run. Right? As I was falling unconscious, I do remember the driver came out of the car, and I remember it was a female, because I didn't see her, but I could hear her voice, and she prayed for me. She actually prayed for me, right? And so I was rushed to the hospital by the first responders and stuff. I was still knocked out at this point, so I don't even remember much, right? But it did impact my memory and stuff. And so when I came out of the hospital the next day, my sister calls me up, because she just calls me up, Jason, sorry, I kind of skipped the part. So I was in the hospital, right? And then the doctor shared with my family that it was a miracle. It was a miracle that I survived that car accident. I kind of get emotional about it when I do talk about it. It's a traumatic event, and my family was very concerned. My mom, my dad, my mom, my sister, and the next So I was able to they were able to assist me to get back home on my own strength. But I remember my memory was affected. That was like very significant because wow, the memories I used to have, I could not recall those memories. So I was like, wow, I never felt that before. Never felt that before. And then the next day, my sister called me up. Jason, what you doing today? How are you doing? How are you doing after your accident? So we were talking on the phone. I just had woken up when she called me, and I just told her, she asked me if I remember what happened. Yes, I do. I was in like in a daze, kind of, because still
Yeah.
recovering and stuff. And she just, she asked if she could take to see a movie. So at that time, I didn't know what movie it was gonna be, and I said, "Was it what's the movie you want to take me to go see?" And so she told me, "Jason, I want to take you out to see the Passion of the Christ." Right? Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson produced that film, and so the car accident I think happened. Was it February? February. I have it written down somewhere. I think it was February 27 of 2004. So this was when I was 21. How many years ago is that? 18 years ago? Yeah, 18 years ago. And so when I saw that movie, it was very significant because, like, I really count my blessings that it happened the way. I mean, the way that the the, the accident was traumatic, and I really felt after. I just remember she prayed for me. The driver prayed for me. Never met this driver ever in my life, and she prayed for me. And just how God had His angels, watch over me that night, and it was like I heard this kind of like a, quiet voice that told me to stay down because you don't want to get up and re-injure yourself or something like cause a serious injury. But I do remember being prayed over, and so I get emotional sometimes sharing this story. But that's what motivated me. Believe it or not, that was like a wake up call, even though it doesn't sound like one. It was a wake up call because after I watched the movie The Passion of the Christ, I came out of the movie and I said, man, I'm 21 years old and I still have not found, at that time, I have not found my purpose in life. I have not yet found what my calling in life is. Because I'm thinking it's judo, right? At that time, I was burning out in judo because, there is an expiration date when it comes to sports. I kind of joined judo kind of later part of my upbringing and stuff. So Olympic hopes wasn't realistic. And so I said, hey, what is something that I've done my whole entire life? It's my first talent. Back at 4 years old. Boom, 1987. And I was like, hey, why don't I perform? Why don't I perform this? So at 21, eventually I went back to college. And during my first semester back in college, I was performing at places. That was my first time performing live. So at 4, my first time beatboxing, right? Like behind closed doors. At 6, I recorded my first recording, a music cassette. My sister did, right? She recorded my first recording. And then at 21, that's when I came out of the closet in a way I was a closet beatboxer. So nobody that I went to school with, a lot of them didn't know that's what I did. And then at home, getting ready for prom or something like that, I would just play music and I would match the snares, the rhythm, the instruments, every part. And I would do this since I was 4. Crazy, right? And a lot of the music was Michael Jackson. So, Dangerous album, the History album, the Bad album, Thriller, Off the Wall. And I would play those records and I would match it, like Beat It, Black or White, Remember the Time. Like he does that thing. And so that's the story. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Jason, you said
sorry, I didn't finish that part. So
Yeah.
I didn't find my purpose, and that's when I decided, hey, why don't I do the beatboxing? That's what I love, Yeah. So let's close that up. Yeah.
Well, you went back to your first love, I guess. Jason.
Yeah.
If we want to get started with beatboxing, heaven forbid any of the three of us here will actually
Not
start
us.
beatboxing. But no, if our dear viewers, who are probably a lot more talented than the three of us when it comes to these things, but can you show us a few basic beats? Like, how can you get started? And how, basically, how can we impress our friends at parties with
Yeah.
beatboxing?
Wow.
Yeah.
What's fascinating about today is it's more digital today. So when I was growing up, there was no YouTube yet. There was no I didn't grow up with internet. I had no computer, so a lot of the ways I grew up listening to beatboxers, you can be inspired by somebody, whether you see them live or you can see them. So back when I was growing up, I heard them on the radio, and I would see them on TV because I didn't have internet yet at that point. So a lot of the pioneers, but to get started, I would say like beatboxing is it is an instrument. It is an instrument because we're using our voice, and
Yeah.
so it's very related and interconnected with singing, um, and also vocal percussion is kind of the foundation of it. So for someone that wants to get started with beatboxing, if you can treat the beatboxing, because people think it's so complicated and stuff, but if you treat it like you're breathing, that's a tip that I can give them. So like you can be walking down the street, if you can figure out how to breathe and beatbox at the same time, so like my first technique at 4 years old was the inward, what is called an inward K snare. So it's like taking a breath in, right? You're taking a breath in. So it's like a language, right? So if you can think of breathing, that would be a tip I would share with those that want to get started.
Do
So it's
that
kinda like
again,
boot
Jason.
camp.
Do that again. Just slow it down for me. Just do that
Yeah.
again. That's breathing
So it's
in.
like, yeah, so it's breathing in. It's like boots and cats, right? Like, so that's like boots and cats. So that's 3 sounds. Boots and cats is 3 sounds. So
Oops.
there you go. There you go. There you go. So
No.
you just did 3 sounds right there. Who
No,
who
Jen-
just did that?
Jen
No,
did
Jen,
it.
Jen, Jen just
Hey,
yeah,
Jen,
that was-
You just
Bad.
did 3 sounds.
Yeah.
So that's the foundation. Believe it or not, that those 3 sounds is the foundation of beatboxing. You just did the kick drum, the hi-hat, and the snare.
Wow.
Yeah. You see? So and then from there you can develop other snares, other kicks, and other parts
Jeez.
like the tom-toms or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
didgeridoo, like, and you can add other parts to it, like for example, stuff that drum fills and stuff like that. So you can
What?
yeah.
What? Right.
So I would
So-
say my tips would be
Crazy.
that. Yeah, it's like a breathing thing. Because if you don't, because you don't want to suffocate, right, when you beatbox, and you want to be able to.
That's a good
yeah.
tip. Yeah, don't
Yeah, so
suffocate when
I
you're
used to
trying to be
practice.
tough.
Oh my goodness! You know what was the hardest thing to do? Was walking and beatboxing at the same. Believe it or not,
No.
right?
The hardest is
I can
just
sit down.
beatboxing for anybody, any normal person. Just
Yeah,
beatboxing, standing
what-
up. Not
right, right.
How do you do the thing when you're talking? So you're saying something like "Dear future grandkids," but somehow there's also a beat underneath it. How does
Oh, okay. So I'll share with you guys one of my original songs. It's called "Listen Carefully." So I think it goes something like this. So how do I do that? Right? I think about the melody first. The melody first. So for example, like if it's "Listen Carefully," but I don't write that part first. I write the bass, the melody part of it first. So like. So for example, if I do that part, I write that part first.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll add other stuff. So that song I wrote back in 2007. It would be like I haven't performed that song in a long time, so I'm kind of rusty with the song.
Come
But
on,
they
come
don't go.
on. We're loving it.
Yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
do the part with the lyrics, right? So I'll do the parts with the
Yeah.
lyrics. So
Yeah.
I messed up there, but they don't know.
Yeah.
Listen carefully. Listen to the beat. Listen to the sound. This way they go wild. Something like that. So, yeah. So I write the
Amazing.
melody first. And then from there I figure out. So I write it could be the bass line. It could be. Usually I go with the melody, and from there it's no lyrics yet. And from there I'll be, hey, what words fit that melody? Because if you can hum it, it's melodic. If you can hum it, right? Like right? Like A B C D E F G. So
And
I would
you're
give that as a tip too.
You're still not explaining how there are 2 voices. The only explanation I know is that you're pulling from the multiverse. and getting all of Jason Tom. Jason Tom 616 is
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Jason
Singing with
Tom's
me.
multiverse thingy.
Yeah. So how do you do the two together? It's you know what? I've been doing it since I was 4. So it was more like I don't know, like I said, it's a breathing thing, right? It's kind of like singers when you find
Yeah.
pockets of when to take that breath in. So when I would do bad, I'm actually singing the song on the record at 6 years old, right? But at 4, I was already doing it, and so it's kind of it just was subconscious. But you find you figure out how to coordinate because it's a muscle,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
singing. It's a muscle, so you're coordinating your muscles. So for me, it was just a song that it was had a nice hook. I'm bad, right? That's the chorus. I'm bad. You know it, you know. And I was like, whoa, this sounds so cool. And I had to do the beats because the beat was electrifying too, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
boom, 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 boom. I'm bad. You know, and I'm hitting the snare in between. So I'm bad. You know it, you know. And I'll hit that bass line or that synthesizer rhythm like boom, 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 boom. So if I were to slow it down for you guys, that's how I would do it. And like I said, the
Loving
melody.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I treat the melody as well, to me, that's what music is. When you think of the piano, what I love about a piano is it's not just a melodic instrument, it's a percussive instrument. And it's one of my favorite instruments to listen to. The piano. It could be a keyboard. I love the drums too. You know, I love the drums. My favorite part of the drums, I would say, you know, just growing up, I would say the snare. The snare. I just like when I would listen to a track on a cassette or vinyl record, right? It was the drums that I would feel right here. Let's see if I can show it. Right here in my gut, right here, you know. So
Oh,
I
I
could
love
feel the
this.
music. Yeah, yeah. So it was like a
Jeez.
deeper thing. So for those that want to start out with the music or how to beatbox, the foundation should always be the music, and it should always be the music, and it should always be about the melody. Because if
Right.
someone can, like for example, if Piercy, Jen, and Ange, if all of you, and even those that are watching right now, if you can hum to that song, that's how you know it's a good song, right? It's melodic and stuff. So I would say music should be the foundation and melody. So my approach to beatboxing, because there's many different styles too. So if I can break that down with you guys, right? There could be those that replicate a turntable or a DJ, right?
Yeah, like that.
And really,
You know that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and they really do it really good. Like they replicate records and stuff. And there'll be another beatboxer. Other styles could be like, I think now the younger generation, they like to copy one another. So for example, if this guy had this style, right, somebody else would replicate that style exactly. But when I was growing up, the pioneers such as Dougie Fresh, Buffy of the Fat Boys, Biz Markie, Rozelle, Kenny Muhammad, and even the Asian Pacific American beatboxers, Elaine Chow and Lee J Abu Kanyan, they each had their own sound, and so that was during the era. You had to be innovative. You had to be original. You have to have your own sound. You cannot, for example, Dougie Fresh cannot is not allowed to copy Buffy, and Buffy cannot copy Dougie Fresh. You had to come up with something innovative. And so my style of beatboxing, I would focus my emphasis most on the instruments. Like I'm listening to the drums, I'm listening to the bass, I'm listening to that didgeridoo, and when I sing that didgeridoo or I sing that bass, I'm becoming the instrument. I'm not just a human beatbox, but I'm the actual instrument. So I really get into I will listen to the hi hats, like an actual drummer, and I'll just isolate. That's how I used to listen to music too. I would isolate the sounds with my ear. So whether it's the hi hat part, I'll just listen for that part, right? Or how metallic it sounds, like right, something like that, little details and stuff. So I would isolate the sounds with my ears, whether they're playing it live or on the record. And we were talking about Australia, right? So that's a long wooden instrument, and I
Yeah,
would
did you do?
Yeah.
yeah, the didgeridoo, yes, yes. So
Jason,
yeah,
I tell you what, mate, that is just amazing. We've asked you this question to give us some tips of how we can start beatboxing, and I'm
sure.
telling you what, I'm echoing one of our viewers as well as Nicholas, and says, Jason, I'm trying to understand I really do. I just can't.
I love it. I love it.
So I'm telling you,
It
I'm
says Jason's from another
yeah.
planet. That's what he says.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
another.
watching you, and I'm just blown away by your talent and how you do it. But you're trying
Wow.
to explain to me, and I just can't make sense of it because it's just innate talent that you have,
Wow.
that you are able to do that, which is amazing. But what I think that I can make sense of
Yeah.
is, and something that we can better understand is, if we
Uh-huh.
get you to get up and pick two physical items, either
Yeah.
from your career or your travels, that have a special place in your heart, and then you can tell us about it. I think that we
Okay.
may be able to understand.
Okay. You know what? I will pick up this number one item right here. Is my goodness, how old was I? Let's see. So this is I've never shared this publicly before. It's a significant item, but whoa, what is this? Okay, wait. Can I
Who's that?
try to
Is
see if
that
I
you?
shows in the? That's
That,
me.
that's a photo. Beautiful.
That is how old was I? I think I was 6. This is when I was 6 years old. I think this was when I was 6 years old, and this picture was at Liho Elementary School. So it's a significant. Now, why is this? Why is this significant? Is because they actually played a 1988 musical by Michael Jackson called Moonwalker. Yeah,
Okay.
so they played
Yeah.
it. I remember they played it in the classroom, and it was so that was another version of Bad as well. It was called Batter, the kid version of Bad. So I remember, like, I already watched it at my grandparents' place because they played a lot of Michael Jackson. So I gotta thank my grandparents, right? And so this picture right here, I'm 6 years old, but this is around that time period that my sister, because it was I remember I watched it at my grandparents' place, the Moonwalker, right, which came out. So this is in January of 1989 when I think I was at the grandparents' place watching it, and then this uh they played it in school afterwards because I remember when they played it, I was like, hey, I remember watching this at grandparents' place, right? And it showed the kid version of Bad, which is called Batter, which is boom for the same song, right? The same song. So I'm like, and that's what inspired me. It was the Moonwalker VHS that the musical that inspired me to. I think that's when my sister kept hearing me doing it in the house, and that's when she recorded me and stuff like that. So that is item number one. I was 6 years old. So if you guys wondering how I looked, this is my first time ever sharing this actually.
Oh,
So
you're getting some very nice comments.
yeah, so this ear right here, it broke off, but I made this bear, this teddy bear right here, and I
Oh, the
painted
teddy
this.
bear photo frame? Oh.
Yeah, so I actually painted this. I actually painted this
Wow.
green, and you see this little red thing. So I used to hang this and stuff. I don't know how the ear broke off, but it's the right. Is it the right ear? Yes, the right ear. So yeah. So this photo, so I didn't grow up with the internet, so this is not a digital photo. This is an actual one where you have to get developed. And as you can see, I'm holding a baseball bat, right? So this is before I knew I was gonna hold a microphone, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's kind of like
Cool.
it was significant because of that Moonwalker movie musical. It really, I think it just helped me get more into it as far as the music. And I also flunked the first grade, believe it or not. It was at Liho. So this picture, it reminds me of flunking the first grade because I didn't know how to read. I didn't know how to read. Yeah, I didn't know my ABCs. So for me, it was like a tough time. It was a happy time and a tough time at the same time because I remember going to grandparents' place, watching Michael Jackson and stuff, and listening to the music, and then I flunked the first grade. But this reminds me because after this time, I struggled in school, but this reminds me of how I never gave up. I never gave up. So
Great.
you know, to graduate and stuff like that. Oh, my dad used to be hard on me about it, you know, like when I flunked the first grade, but that's what pushed me. That's what motivated me and stuff. So that's item number one. Okay, item number two. Okay, okay. So from my career and work, yeah. So I would say that helped kind of kickstart it even more, right? And I would say, gosh, can I pick two more?
Let's see them. See them. Let's see them.
Okay.
Hold them up. Hold them up.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to think which. Okay, so this one right here is significant too. So this is item number two, and what it says over here is this. If you guys can wait, see if I can put it to the camera. So it says
What's that?
Beatbox Battle, the official Beatbox Battle microphone. Now, why is this significant? It's not just any microphone. It's the official Beatbox Battle microphone. But this is, believe it or not, this when this first came out, this was awarded. This is actually an award, believe it or not. It's an award to Beatbox World Champions and also professional vocal percussion artists. So let me just take it out of this. So this is like a capsule or something like that, right? So I take it out. You see that? It's like a canister here. So it's like an unboxing right here, just for you guys.
Yeah,
and
live
you take this
unboxing.
part out, right? You take this part out, and right. So I'm taking this part, and it's just like basically the rules of the beatbox battle competition and stuff. So these are the official rules, and so this is an award. Like I said, it's awarded to professional vocal percussion artists and world champions, right?
Wow.
And here you go. Since like I was holding a baseball bat in that picture, right? Then this right here is the.
Oh, that's a nice mic.
Let me see if I can show the. There you go.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
this
yeah, I
is,
can see it. Yeah, yeah.
so this is called an AKG, but it's not just an AKG. It's like AKG BBBD5. So it's an actual award, but you can actually perform on it too. So it's like an award that you can actually
It's a
rock.
real working microphone. That's
It
also
is.
an award.
It is. So once I got awarded this, I would perform everywhere with this, and I have two, and I performed with one of them so much I broke it, so I had to get another one, right? So that's part of my work, and I'll share one more item, I guess. Yeah, one more item. And sorry, I had a hard time narrowing down to two. I was like,
I
man,
love this.
Okay, so let me get to it. I would say this one here, and I've kind of kept it in its plastic bag because this is the TEDx Honolulu. So I kept it in this plastic bag just to keep it. I don't have a trophy case or anything like that. So this right here is the TEDx Honolulu Presenter Award that when I perform Vocal Groove. So the way that song goes is I actually composed it and whatnot, but it's like, let's see if I can perform it. And then I did a part where I do like a tribute to just what's it Crazy Train, right? So I did a little bit of that, but this is what that award is. This award is for, and why is that significant? That item number 3 is prior to me jumping into the music, right? How old was I? I was 19 years old, and I was in college, and I messed up my first few semesters, right? Like I got academically what's that word? Probation, because my grades wasn't good enough. I still struggled and stuff. And then my semester that I was trying to rebound from it, and it was just one course, right, an elective, and I still struggled with that class. And part of the final project was, okay, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? What kind of career you're gonna do? So I'm 19 years old at this point, right? And I had no idea, okay, what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm struggling with school. So what I did was I don't have it with me, but let's see if I can find something. But I don't know where I put it. Okay. So I kind of did something where it's not this one, but I kind of did where I made like a comic book illustration of what I was gonna be one day.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So what happened was I drew myself, and I was just picturing myself, like visualizing what I would do, and I knew I wanted to do something on like with an audience, and I drew myself like doing assemblies, like school assemblies, right? So this award right here kind of like reinforced that I'm doing a presentation right in front of an audience. And so at that time when I did TEDx, because I did 2 TEDx conferences, I had no idea how significant it was, because it's not every day that people do TED Talks or TEDx talks. So at that time when I first did it, I didn't realize how big of an impact. And so when people go, "Oh my goodness, Jason, you did a TEDx," and these are like young kids and teenagers, and they're like blown away. So I realized the impact that I'm able to make, but it kind of came to fruition, right? And I show you guys this because I was into sports before, and I kind of have my soccer team photo right here. But that's like, this is handmade right here. This is handmade.
Yeah, this is a vision book. This is like a vision book. This is the story of you predicting what's going to happen to you in 5 years' time.
Yeah, and I trip out because as you guys have visited my blog, I know Ange, thank you for commenting on my blog at
I've
jasonchong.com.
watched both your TEDx's. I've
Yeah.
visited your blog. I mean, you write really well. You really do have lots of university degrees. You actually, for a guy who flunked first grade, you actually went on to study a lot. I
Wow.
love your TEDx's. They're really awesome. If any of
Wow.
you, I highly recommend you check them out. And here
Wow.
you
And
are writing a
yeah.
book of your 5-year plan with photos, with specificity, and it's coming true. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I actually trip out. Actually trip out because
Amazing.
when I did it at 19, I didn't know I was gonna beatbox. Like on stage, I had no idea. Like I just knew I wanted to do something. I wanted to make an impact. That was my motivation. How can I make an impact? And those that inspire me, believe it or not, I couldn't find the book because I do still have the book, Charlie's Victory. And when I met them, that's when I knew I wanted to do what they did because they came to my school. Uh, Charlie Wedemeyer. He was wheelchair bound and whatnot. Charlie, and I met the wife too. And it was just it made me cry. It just made me cry when I met them because I was struggling in school. This is in high school when I met them, and they signed a copy for me, Charlie's Victory. I wish I had the book. I mean, I found it, but I misplaced it somewhere. So, but that book was when I knew I wanted to do sports. Number one, number two, I knew I wanted to make an impact on people's lives. Just how they made me cry, cry the fact that I almost gave up in school. I almost gave up in school, and I just said, what is something you guys can share with me? They signed my copy and whatnot. And yeah, Charlie's Victory. So if you guys know about that story, it's a very impactful story. He was a football player. So you think about athlete, right? And eventually he became where you know I think it's pronounced. Is it? Yeah. So he just and the wife stood there by his side, and I just was in tears. I was bawling when I met them. I was bawling, and here I was like, here I am complaining about like I'm struggling in school, and yet he was just grateful. I'm talking about Charlie Wedemeyer. He was so grateful, and though he actually shared it with the students and stuff. He shared that he's just grateful if he could just wake up. Um, wow, I feel like crying right now thinking about it.
Oh,
If he could just wake up and
Oh, Jason.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, Jason. I mean, I actually
Sorry,
I
did I
can
go
imagine
to
there's so many
okay?
people.
no.
No, no, no. It sounds like there were so many people that really affected you
Whoa. Yeah.
in your life, and it's a random. It's all sometimes it's a random strangers, right? But on your phone, we go back to a part of the
Oh.
show where
Okay.
we ask our guests to leave a
Okay.
meaningful voice message to someone very
Wow.
special in their lives. Is there someone in
Okay.
your life that you want to leave a voice message to?
Okay. So as we're recording this, I know it's the wee
Mhm.
hours where my time zone is. So I'm gonna record it to let's see. Wait, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. where Jason is, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, this is prime time.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me do this. Okay. Oh wait, let me just do this again. Hold on. So I'm gonna record. So an audio clip, right? An audio clip.
Yeah.
Something significant. Okay. So
Yeah.
this. Okay. Hey, mighty men of God! Just wanted to share this with you guys. I'm currently live streaming my interview with their future grandkids, and I just want to say how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, Ralphie, I know you're in Nashville, so I know this makes you mad when I record these late messages and stuff. But I just want to say how much I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm talking about you, Nate, you, Peter. By the way, Peter, I'm rocking the this crew neck that you gifted with on my birthday. So I want to thank you so much, Peter. Nathan, I appreciate you so much. Kiyoshi, John, I just want to say hello to you. As I'm doing this live stream, you guys mean a lot to me because you guys been there for me. You guys prayed for me when I needed it most. Wow. You guys are like family, so I just wanted to do this live and record this for you guys, and I appreciate every single one of you. Gary, I know you're in South Carolina, so I just want to say hello to you. But I want to just thank you guys. Please pray for me, for my future grandkids, and my future, whatnot. Totally. So I appreciate you guys very much, and yeah, I give God all the glory. I just wanted to encourage you guys, man. So I'm doing this live as I'm doing this. So I just wanted to record this clip and whatnot. So God bless you guys, and I'll be in touch. I'll see you guys soon. All right, cool, awesome.
Aw,
So
Jason,
a bunch
that,
of yeah.
that
Sorry, I
is,
got a little bit.
oh man, that's so beautiful, and
Oh,
they clearly mean a lot
Mean
to
a
you.
lot. Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
going to be wondering 3 a.m. in the morning, what
Why
kind
is
of
he recording
message
this?
is
what's
Jason
going
Tom
on?
leaving us?
Why is he
What is
streaming
happening
live
here?
at 3:45 in the morning?
They're
Yeah,
going to be
yeah, yeah, yeah.
suspicious. Like, what's happening here?
You know what's kind of
What's
funny?
happening
Like,
here?
Yeah.
what's kind of funny is we've done at our church we've done 24-hour prayers. So it's like a prayer chain, and so each team will pray a specific hour. So we've done it where it would be like midnight, and then maybe the next week we do 3 a.m. and the following week would be what's it 3 a.m. and then so forth and so forth, right? So and I found that hey, I actually enjoy it because we're praying for families, we're praying for our neighborhood, we're praying for our families. Like I said, it could be marriages, it could be um, businesses, right? Especially during the pandemic. But this even prior to pandemic, we were doing this and stuff, and during the pandemic, we did it virtually too. So I
I
gotta
love the
thank them
heart.
too. I gotta
You're
thank them
all
too because
heart, Jason.
yeah,
You're all
You
heart.
really are.
I love that.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Hey,
But
we want to see. Hey, we want to see something else. Do you have anything that you don't? Anything around your house that
Yeah.
you don't normally show visitors
Okay.
that you might be slightly embarrassed about?
Okay, so I have had people ask me, Jason, what's in your closet? Like because they see that I rock a lot of outerwear and fashion and stuff. So I am they're sneakerheads, but I'm a big collector on. I'm not huge on sneakers, but I'm big on outerwear. So I love to collect. So let me just show you guys a collection of some of my favorite jackets. So this right here is a very significant jacket. Okay, this is to commemorate. Uh, this is a Detroit Lions jacket, but this is not just any jacket. It was actually licensed by the NFL. Right? And you guys might have seen the movie back in 1987, Beverly Hills Cop 2. That's when this jacket was worn by Eddie Murphy. And so this is
Oh,
What? Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
yeah, he played Axel Foley. So
Foley,
this jacket
yeah.
right here is
Yeah.
the official release by the NFL, and this is the 25th anniversary release. So back in
Huh.
1987. Yeah. So this is the 25th
that's super
anniversary.
cool.
25
Yeah, so this is a
years.
Leatherman jacket. I'm like a dork when it comes to collecting these, right? So this is just one. So I'm gonna show you guys about 7 of them, right? So this is just one.
Show us two. Show us two. Pick two.
Okay,
Pick
check
two of
this
your
out.
favorites.
So this one right here is
It looks
the.
the same, dude. It's
does,
exactly the same jacket.
Now that's the 25th.
But it's
This is
not. But it's not.
It's
the
not. This is more. This is the starter. Well, let me just give a shout out. Carl Banks and Ty Hopkins released these, but this is the 30th anniversary. This is how you know I'm a dork because I collect these, right? So this is the 30th anniversary. But recently I performed at. Look at this. It almost looks alike, but it's not. It's in Honolulu.
Same.
blue
Different
and
color.
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I recently performed this. I know Angela checked out the concert.
I did.
Yep.
You on
So-
stage, rocking the
but-
blue.
But I wanted to show you guys a special one. All right, here we go. Because you guys, wasn't it all you guys did were part of Disney at one point?
Yeah. All
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. All
So
of
this
it.
right here, okay, this right here. Okay, maybe you guys can't see it too good, so let me show it better. So this right here was I got this from the Disney store. Actually, no, somebody got this as a gift for me. This is at the Disney store. So this is the Disney release of the Spider-Man jacket here, and it was a gift for me, right? It was a gift. I think it was for Christmas, if I remember correctly. So wait, let's see if we can show it. And it meant a lot to me because this is the Spider-Man. Well, this artist right here is Todd McFarlane, who created Spawn. But reason why this is significant is my judo nickname is Spider-Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so back when I did judo, so this is one of my judo trophies. But that's that. And then but before I move on, here, one more, just for you guys. So this right here, I didn't collect this, but I actually wore this right here. This is the McKinley soccer. So this is my actual jacket when I played soccer. I'm also a football player.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
this,
Wow.
you know how old this jacket is? It's
How old
22
is
years, exactly 22 years old. 22 years old.
Wow. From
It's in
2000.
good shape.
Yeah,
You
so
kept it well.
Preserved it well.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a dork when it comes to outerwear, but people like be asking me, Jason, you're in Hawaii, don't you get hot and stuff? But before I Hey, one last one. How's that? One last one.
For a guy that lives in Hawaii, you've got too many jackets.
Yeah. So to me, it's like I kind of use the philosophy of LA is fashion over comfort, right? So here, but also too, this is what I do. I have friends that go, Jason, of all my friends, I don't know anybody that drinks more water than you. So I drink a lot of hydration. I hydrate a lot, drink a lot of water. And that's just comes from my sports background, right? Soccer and judo, because you're playing in the sun in soccer, right? So you have to constantly hydrate.
Yeah.
Let's hydrate.
this-
Let's hydrate.
So this right here is a special jacket. It's a Ty Hopkins release. So Ty Hopkins, this is a Detroit Tigers jacket. But here, I'll show it to you guys. And it has the starter since 1971, and that's the Ty Hopkins logo. And he has a slogan where if it's not a Ty Hopkins starter, your butt is still on the bench, right? Kind of says it
Oh.
differently, but I'm kind of like using a more family friendly version. Even though my kids are watching
Yeah.
this. So this is the Detroit Lions, and when I was wearing this for the first time, out and stuff, someone came up to me, right, and said, and I shared this with Ty Hopkins too. He goes, so this stranger comes up to me and goes, "Are you a fashion designer?" They actually asked me that because this jacket is
Oh.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah,
cool you
so-
look.
right. No, that's why I collect it. I love putting. No, people have said, Jason, I don't know how you wear that because you're making me hot just looking at you, and then and I go, it's fashion over comfort, and I like to do it because and I tell them I hydrate, so it's like a message in between, right? Like hydration is something that's very important for me in sports too, and it helped me with my health. Remember, I shared with you guys about the car accident. It caused some memory issues. So yeah, so what has helped me too is getting back into the physical part, like the exercise, as simple as walking and drinking water, and that helped my memory and stuff like
Jason,
that. So
that
yes,
thank you so much. That's for sharing all of that with us. I will remember to hydrate as much as I can. That's important, especially for
Especially when you're wearing
ex-athletes
a
as
lot
well.
of jackets.
Yeah, and for someone like we said earlier, someone living in Honolulu in Hawaii, that's like a
Yeah.
billion jackets you don't need. But I get it. But I get it. It's about your style and what you love. And the main thing is thank you so much for spending time with us today, building the most artistic musical video time capsule we've ever had on Dear Future Grandkids. So as we
Yeah.
head towards the end of the show, Jason, you get
Yeah.
to leave one message, right? When we wrap up the
Oh
show.
wow!
What
Yes.
do you want to say to your future grandkids? Will you say it? Will you beatbox it? What are you gonna say?
Cool. Yo, this is Gong Gong. This is Gong Gong Jason Tom. I am Grandpa Jason Tom. This is to you guys, my future grandkids. I'm still looking for my grandma, your grandmother. I'm still looking for her. So this is so I'm speaking in the future tense. So yeah, so future grandkids. I just want to say how much I love you guys. I love you guys and gals. If I get to meet you or not. So you guys are. My message to you is. You have to check it out, jasontom.com, so I just want to share that with you guys. This is Gong Gong. Hope to meet you guys one day. If I don't get to meet you, you guys can always come and check out this video. It's going to be on jasontom.com as well. So just want to say how much, even though I have not met your grandmother yet, I know that time will come one day. And I just want to say how much, I hope to meet you guys. And if I never do, just know that you're never forget where you came from. I would say that. Never forget where you came from so that you know where you will go. Yeah, so important that you know your roots. And I hope to continue to pass on that legacy for you all. So I'm continuing to write my journey so that it can inspire you. You and you. So I just wanted to
Jason.
share that with you guys. Thank you, grandkids, future grandkids. That's my message to you all. Cool.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. It's
I
heartfelt.
really-
And Jason, your energy and your passion will definitely reach years and years and years from now, and your grandkids will feel it. Don't lose that. Don't lose that
Yes,
ever.
thank you.
No matter how old you get. So thank you, Jason, for spending the hour with us.
And I want to
you
thank the
all of our
audience
guests.
too. I want to thank the audience
Yeah.
that are with us. Yeah, thank you guys for commenting and stuff. I appreciate what Jan was able to share about the comments and stuff. I appreciate you all.
Yeah.
And I'll check it out
Yeah.
afterwards too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please do, please do. Thank you everyone for watching the show and sticking out with us on a Saturday night.
Yeah, and 4
Prime
4 a.m.
time,
for you,
prime time.
Jason.
4 a.m. for
4
Jason.
a.m. Jason.
Thank you,
You're
Kirsty.
wonderful.
Thank you, Jan. And thank you, Ange. I really had a good time. We gotta do this more.
We gotta have you back. We gotta have
Yes.
you back. Once
Wow.
we've learned our rap a bit,
You have to
bit
practice
better,
a
we're
bit
gonna
more.
have
Oh,
you
you
back.
guys-
No,
For our
No.
first time, that was like, wow.
no more. Never again.
Just
Never
getting
again.
started, Jen. We're just getting started.
No, I'm gonna end it now before we embarrass ourselves. I'm gonna
Don't
end
stop
that
till you
before
get enough. I love it.
It's
I love
just too embarrassing. Jason, thank you so much. Be amazing.
Thank
Keep
you,
in
guys.
touch, and thank you all for watching Dear Future Grandkids, the nighttime special at 9 p.m. Sorry about our rapping, but now this time we're definitely gonna call it a wrap. So it's good night from Dear Future
Yay.
Grandkids.
Wow.
I'm Jen, that's Percy, that's Ange, and that is Jason Tom in Hawaii. Woohoo! Bye!
Bye,
Autobots
everyone.
transform.
Thanks.